So, in case of drought, as I have discussed, there is disturbance in the plant growth. As you can see in this picture is showing a complete balance between rose and antioxidant defense mechanism in case of normal plants. While whenever there is, what happens while plant got stress, and what is oxidative stress? Whenever there is an imbalanced situations means when there is more reactive oxygen species compared to antioxidant defense system, then plant will be under stress. So what are rose or AOS? Rose basically is reactive oxygen species that is highly reactive oxygen containing molecules that are produced naturally in the body, while AOS is antioxidant system, which is network of enzymes and molecules within a cell that are designed to counteract and neutralize the harmful effects of rose. So you can say that rose is a damaging molecule and AOS is a defense system against them. So rose effects on plants in case of whenever there is more reactive oxygen species, there is more lipid peroxidation that will ultimately damage DNA. If the DNA is damaged, then results in protein degradation. When there is degraded proteins, enzymes activity will stop. As a result, there will be no lipid peroxidation. So what is the mechanism of drought stress mechanism? When there is drought stress or reduced water availability, that will activate the abscisic acid. It is basically a phytohormone that is critical for plant growth and development, and important role plays in the various stress signaling and controlling downstream stress response. So if there is level of ABA in response to changes and environmental conditions, when there is ABA signaling, that signaling under drought conditions will signal the stomatas to closure. If there is closure of stomatas, then there is diminished in carbon dioxide influx activity, so there will be more rose production, ultimately results in oxidative stress. Drought survival strategies, as I have discussed while we were discussing about the stress survival or resistance, there are two strategies. First is the drought avoidance strategy, second is the drought tolerance strategy. In case of drought avoidance strategy, there is late flowering that they will avoid, or they will activate the late flowering. Then there will be reduced rate of transpiration. How they will reduce rate of transpiration? By reducing their leaf area, by closing their stomatas, and by increasing this by reducing the stomatal density. If there is low stomatas, then there will be reduced water removal. So, and leaf area and size will also be reduced. And another way to avoid drought is the deeper roots. So they will increase their roots, adventitious or tap roots, or there will be deeper roots, so that they can grab water from the maximum area. While in case of drought tolerance strategies, what they will do? They will delay the senescence. They will produce drought responsive proteins and hormonal pathways like ABA, auxin, etc. They will, and some, as well as also produce some osmoprotectants. There will be increased production of proline, polyamine, glycine, etc. And antioxidants will also be enhanced. Similarly, what they will do, they will increase the cuticular thickness so that they can avoid tolerance. They can avoid drought. What are the effects of drought on plants? As I have discussed, that there is reduced germination, poor vegetative growth, affect the photosynthesis and negatively, etc. So, how drought growth will diminish? Whenever there is water reduction, water availability is scarce, then there is impaired mitosis that results in limited cell division, ultimately diminish the growth. Same case, another way to reduce the growth is that there will be no turgidity or loss of turgidity that obstruct the cell elongation. When there is no cell elongation, that also results in diminishing growth or dwarf growth. Drought tolerance mechanism includes morphological, physiological, and biochemical modifications in plants to cope with drought by escaping them, by avoiding them, and by tolerating them. Morphological mechanism, first of all, is the escape. How they can escape? That plant to reproduce only in favorable environmental conditions. While how they can avoid? Reduce the water loss due to regulation of stomatal transpiration or glucose or waxy blossom blooms on leaves help maintain up high tissue water potential. How they can escape the drought? Their complete life cycle before the onset of drought conditions, from dormant seeds before dry seasons commences. So in this way they can, as I have mentioned the example of ephemerals, that they can escape the drought conditions. Drought avoidance, that they maintain relative water balance despite low water soil water. For example, they develop deep root system, they close the stomata, or they may reduce the stomata number so that they can control the rate of transpiration, or they can also reduce the surface by smaller and thicker leaves. Some plant, these are some plant hormone stress tolerance protectants. For example, phytohormones are such as auxins, cytokinins. Similarly, some osmoregulators help the plant to protect or to get protected from the drought. Similarly, polyamine है antioxidant signaling molecule and trace elements. There is also some osmotic adjustments. So these are some modifications or mechanisms through which plants can go for the drought tolerance. Thank you.